I'm Marky Billson. You can hear this show on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio. You probably knew that. What about jetbroadcasting.live? You can hear it wherever you are live, and also we archive it on Facebook as well. More than 2,000 likes on Facebook for 1420 WEMB Sports Radio, and you can watch this show. Actually, we archive all of it, so, I mean, it does take a while for it to load, but yeah, you want to find, a month ago when I was talking to Josh Brown about the Braves, there you go. We can do it there. So, anyway, yes, the Braves are at Paris Hilton now. Anyway, first, if she is coming up to your radio station, I'm there.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've got to figure by this time, I've got a chance there. But anyhow, I want to talk to you a little bit. The Braves just announced 2 hours ago that Austin Riley and Darren O'Day will both start their Major League rehabilitation assignment. Riley will play for Single-A Rome, and remember his injury, probably not as serious as a lot of people thought, while O'Day will pitch for the Gulf Coast Braves. Wow, that's going down there, but it is a rehab assignment and all that. But no, I gotta say though, Duvall hitting that home run against the Dodgers on Saturday, though. I mean, neither one of us saw that coming and all this. So tell me here, Austin Riley back to the Braves. I guess when they expand the rosters in September is probably when most likely he'd be coming back. But come a playoff game, where do you see Riley? Do you still see him in the starting lineup?
I don't know. Long term, I think Austin Riley is going to be such a stud and have such a good career. And if the Braves keep him, then I think the next few years he's going to be fantastic. I just don't know. It's almost like when Danzy first came up, and remember when Danzy first came up, he was hitting like 300 almost immediately, and then he really slumped, and then he got sent back down. And that's not that uncommon with really, really young guys. Austin Riley's super young. And I'm as high on Austin Riley as anybody is. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a great power hitter. But from what I saw before he went on the DL, I'm not going to call it the IL, Marky.
Yeah, we're kind of old school here.
Before he went on the DL, the book was out on him. He was striking out a lot. And so I don't know. And hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he hits the game-winning homer in Game 7 of the NLCS. I don't know. What do I know? I'm going to replace him with a podcaster. But I don't know if he's going to be
Don't be hard on yourself.
I don't know if he's going to be ready for the big stage just yet. I don't know. But and Adam Duvall, listen, I think Adam Duvall is what we've been seeing. I think he's a 200 hitting guy who has a little bit of power. And super happy for what he did in AAA. And I think he's got some sick defense and some fast legs, and he's a good ball player, but he's an easy out of the play. He just is. If you throw him low and away.
Well, what about though on Saturday? I mean, he winds up with what?
I saw it, but I'm just not impressed yet. I'm not impressed. Baseball's a marathon. I need some long-term results from my boy Adam Duvall, and at the big league level. And I just hadn't gotten it, Marky. I hadn't gotten it. I'm not impressed.
Well, I'll just say this. When he did that, you start getting that feeling that this is the sort of season, when you're 6 for 46, and then you hit the winning home run, which is what was the case with Adam Duvall. You get the idea of everyone is contributing. Everyone, we have all these injuries. The bullpen is still statistically ranked one of the worst in all this. Wait a minute, 6-game lead on the Nationals. And they're not taking down Chief Knockahoma's teepee anymore, so, there's this feeling that it's safe and all this. And I mentioned this because it's like, that's what happens in a magical season. What happens in something, these little guys come. Remember when, Francisco Cabrera comes up with the hit of all time, this sort of thing. Yeah.
I think when you get on Braves Twitter or just kind of Braves social media in general, I think a lot of fans who think that they're super smart because of advanced stats get lost in it, and they expect every guy on the entire team, in the entire lineup, 1 through 9, to hit 300, to have a WRC plus of 140, and always perform at maximum level all of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, that's not the real world, right? There are role players. There are Adam Duvall who's gonna just show up after going 1 for 20 and hit a dinger. And Tyler Flowers, a lot of guys on Twitter hate Tyler Flowers because he's been slumping here and there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's that kind of guy, He's part of the team, and you're not going to have an entire lineup of mashers all of the time. And I think it's what makes for stories. To your point, Francisco Cabrera. Can you imagine if Twitter existed in 92?
Yes, it was.
It'd be hilarious. Every Braves blogger would be tweeting, "Why is Bobby putting in Francisco Cabrera? He's only hitting 193."
Now, actually, you know what? I wonder if he was 3 for 10 that year. There's 3 for 10. Trust me, I know that. The other guy they could have used was Javi Lopez, who was a raw rookie. And I'm telling you, I've asked Bobby Cox about this, and he said, I think he was my last pinch hitter and all this. No, I'm going to tell you this. He had the choice at that point, but you want to talk analytics? Cabrera had one at-bat in his career before against Belinda. Stan Belinda was the relief pitcher that gave up the hit way back when. It was the season before, and Cabrera had taken him yard. Now, if you're in that situation, you say, well, I got promising rookie. Or didn't that guy hit a home run off of him last year? Send him up. That's what you do.
I love it.
You probably didn't know that.
I did not know that.
I was the guy who figured it out for Baseball Digest about 10 years ago in an article about Bobby Cox.
That's awesome. I remember I was 9 years old living in Marietta, Georgia, and I just remember that my Francisco Cabrera baseball card, pure ultra, suddenly, overnight, became actually kind of valuable. It went from being worth, I don't know, 10 cents maybe to maybe like $50, like overnight. Yeah.
I remember breaking my TV set. Now, you know me. I've been down here for a while, and so the Braves do have a special place in my heart. Don't get me wrong. And I told you about following them, during some years that old Pirates were on there. But the circumstance, that was tough for me to take. And I will. Even when I watch that again. You want me to actually just... I remember once when I was doing baseball play-by-play, I would sometimes listen to great broadcasters or great, and I listened to that half inning. How did Skip Carey call it? And, it took me about an hour to listen to all of it because every time there was some move that Leland got wrong, I was just stopping and screaming, and people were wondering why in the world, and I'm like, how the hell can you not put in your relief pitcher for a whole week and then ask him to save the season? All this stuff.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Who threw the ball in from the outfield?
It was Bonds. It was Barry Bonds.
It was Bonds. I didn't know if it was Bonds or Vicky Van Slyke. It was Bonds. Okay.
And that's the other thing about that is now history says Van Slyke became a Tigers coach under Jim Leland, and then it came out that he said that, on that play, I suggested to Barry Bonds to move up, and he gave me the finger, and I'm thinking... Jim Leland is now the only manager in the history of baseball who is not responsible for defensive positioning of his outfield. And I just couldn't believe that his own coach was... And it wasn't going to come off on him. It was like Teflon Don. And I'm like, you're actually blaming arguably the greatest player ever for this and not the bonehead and overrated person in the dugout.
I love it. Can you imagine if that trade went through and the Braves got Barry Bonds?
That would be kind of intriguing. Yes, would it? Who are the Braves going to give the Pirates? Let me ask you that.
The Braves were going to give the Pirates, and Ted Simmons agreed to it until the last minute when Jimmy Leland was like, "What the heck are you?"
Yeah, they did not get along. Leland and Simmons didn't get along.
Sure, somehow to this day we don't know how. Maybe it was alcohol. Swindled Ted Simmons into getting the Braves were going to give the Pirates Alejandro Pena and Kevin Mitchell for Barry Bonds. True story.
They got Alejandro Pena in time, I recall, and I could see that because one of the things is that there was this talk about...
At the time, Mitchell was a stud.
Yeah, he hit 49 home runs in 89.
At the time, Mitchell, was it Keith Mitchell? There's two Mitchells. Kevin Mitchell was the power hitter guy from the Giants, right?
Okay, yes. That's who I'm confusing him with.
His younger brother was a farmhand with Atlanta.
Okay.
He was kind of like a Austin Riley, kind of power hit and slugger guy, super promising. People really thought he was going to be a stud, and ended up never becoming anything.
Okay, I'm getting him mixed up with Kevin, so forgive me. Keith Mitchell.
Same.
I
did too.
Anyway, so
Ted Simmons said yes. They agreed upon it. They were about to send that out to the media, okay? At which point Leland finds out last minute and was like, what the heck are you thinking? And threatens to quit. And Simmons calls Sherholtz and says, hey, we got to nix the deal because Leland doesn't want it, and I just got to do what Leland said. And, can you imagine a clubhouse, though, with Barry Bonds and Chipper Jones in it, and Bobby Cox?
That would have been interesting and all that to see what that, because Baker was very hands-off and you do what you want and all that. No, that would have been very interesting and all this. But yes, who knows, though? But, I mean, you're still having Barry Bonds on the team. That would have, though, predicated, I guess, that the Braves would have re-signed him and he wouldn't have gone to the Giants the following year because he had 1 year left on his contract. So he might not have played with Chipper Jones.
And Maddox would never have been a Brave. So the Braves took that money and invested in Maddox. So
Okay.
Maddox isn't a Brave. Bonds is a Brave.
Okay, so there you go. No, but I do know that, Simmons and Leland did not get along. And in fact, when Simmons was hospitalized, then Leland basically axed him as the GM. Now, how a field manager has that power, I don't know. But that was the way it was. And then, you say, you can't get rid of Barry Bonds. I'll lose. He signed a 5-year contract to be the Pirates manager. And then after 1 year said, you know what, I don't like you. Let's go to Florida.
Yep.
So there you go. That was, and people talk about this guy as a Hall of Fame manager. Okay, sure. All right. Yeah.
I love your perception of him. It's totally different than mine.
I did.
It's so funny.
It is. You want to know about Jay Bell bunting every first inning to the point that he had more sacrifice bunts than any player in a modern era in baseball? I mean, it's absurd what he would be doing, and all. Why don't you just ask him to steal here? It's the first inning. I mean, it's not the seventh. Anyway. Anyway, well, your perception, I mean, hey, like I said, you were a longtime Braves fan. Of course, he's the most valuable player next to Cabrera in 92. Let's move to modern times. You only live in a past so long. The Mets series is coming up. Boy, I got 30 seconds here. What are you hoping for out of the Braves? Let me just ask you, the Braves beat up on the Mets. If they sweep this series, I guess, would you say that's it for the Mets?
Yeah. If the Braves took the series, it's it for the Mets, and you can just take it to the bank. The Braves are going to make it deep in the playoffs. If they split, if they don't, if the Mets sweep the Braves, then I think, I don't know, maybe you got to worry about the Mets.
That could change something, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know. I think and all this. So anyway, it's
Mets fans.
Yes. Anyway, I don't really see it happening. I think it's the Braves, and it's the Braves and Dodgers. Let's wait for that in mid-October. Tri-City Sports Now. See ya on Monday.